Find yourself in a sort of hurricane area, like I do right this moment. I'm in Baton Rouge and we have Hurricane Ida headed straight for us. To make landfall here in less than 48 hours. I usually buy a new set of these every 2 or 3 years, but you don't have to. I mean, you can keep drying them out. And it's a quick dam, it's a flood barrier. So basically what you do, and I don't wanna open this because I don't wanna expose it to air in the event that we don't need it, which we probably will. But you guys can see, right, the picture here. So what you do is you open it up and you lay it flat. And the best thing to do is open it up before you're inundated with water, right? Because this thing begins to fill up with water, okay? And then it's acting as a flood barrier. So it's kind of rounded like that, so it's causing the water to stay away. And then you can purchase it in different quantities and different lengths. Like I have, this is 2 5-foot ones, and this is for the front and rear door, and then a 10-foot barrier, and that is for the garage. When everything passes and everything's done, you know, you can just set it in the backyard. It does take quite a long time to dry out, I will say that, but it is reusable. So, I mean, these things aren't terribly expensive, especially if you consider the damage that they can save to your house. Peace of mind for me alone, just I've seen the water come right to the door. So I don't, you know, we don't play with that. And this has kept the water back and kept our home safe. So I could not give these a higher endorsement than to say that if you live in a flood prone area or a hurricane area, sandbags are great if you can get them. But sometimes you have situations where you have like elderly people or something like that where they can't physically pick up a sand barrier, but this thing is nothing. You can see I'm throwing it. I mean, it's super light. So this is great, especially for somebody who maybe has mobility issues. They could put this out by themselves. Now you probably have to help them get it in and, you know, dry it out because it gets really heavy when it's full of water, obviously. This is just a survival radio, and it takes 3 AAA batteries. So you can choose to use the AAA batteries or to use the onboard lithium-ion battery, which is rechargeable via this little cord, which comes with it. When you have no internet anymore because the storm hits, you will be very happy to have an emergency radio, I promise. Turn it on, find your local news station.
.com. Cyanoid junk sleep. Enter today and be on your way to a junk-free sleep.
It just brings you so much comfort during a storm. There's a flashlight on board and it does have 5 different settings. So you just press it and you get one of 5 different settings, and then you can go ahead and long press it and it'll turn off. And then this is a solar charger right here, which is fantastic. If you have sunlight, another way to do it is you can hand crank, and this would have to be a pretty desperate situation, but it could happen if it were really raining and you just take it out and turn. Now, don't freak out because this is gonna be loud, but just for like a split second, but I just wanna show you that there is an SOS button on here in the event that you ended and you were trying to call attention to yourself, and it is also going to engage this light right here. So I'm just gonna turn it on for just a quick second. All right, so you guys heard, and it's very loud, and then this blinks and flashes, and this really could literally save your life if you found yourself stranded. There is a little hook here where you could put a carabiner. Of course, you have an antenna you would need if you were using the radio, which was the principal reason that I purchased this. FM, AM, really cool feature. You see this little M right here? Okay, so on the side, you can put in a little SD card or a USB, like a flash drive, if you have a bunch of music that you wanna play. This is like a little tiny mini boom box, if you're old enough to know what that is. So if you're gonna use that side, you turn it on and put this to M, this little button right here, and then you have all your standard controls. To the next track, pause, play, all of this going on right here. Just, it packs a punch. There's a lot of stuff on here. Oh, and then also you can use this to charge your phone in the event that your phone is dead because your power is out. You can just put USB side in here and then plug it directly into your phone. You can also plug in headphones here. As you can see, this thing has been battle tested. I mean, we have taken this thing everywhere from the river to camping, you name it, but this thing absolutely is just amazing. Just wanna show you how much light you can get off of this. Back here, you can see it's pretty light. It lights up a good portion of the room. So, God, I love this thing. It has 3 different, so you have 1, 2, and then this is fluorescent, okay? And then you have this blinking one for an emergency switch. This is the hook. So when we're camping, you can see, like, it has a little carabiner hook. Let me show you. boop, right there. And then you can hang it from the inside of the tent, which is fantastic. Like as in it's not super heavy. It's about 8 inches tall and maybe 3 inches wide. It's 1,000 lumen light and it takes 4D batteries, I believe. Oops. 3D batteries, my mistake. Okay, so for a good minute, and I genuinely do not remember ever changing the batteries in it, which is why I didn't really know how many batteries it took. All right, and then you just screw it back on like that. A little handle or a hook if you want to do it this way, and again, you can do it this way. I have dropped this thing. I literally backed up like this onto the side of it on accident one time. And I mean, it's great. It's super sturdy. This has 3 solar panels, as you can see, and they fold up really nice and neatly. And then there's this little button right here, and it's like a little faux leather case. It's really nice. Press it once to turn it on. And then if you press it again, you get a slow blink and then a fast blink. Turn that off. Here is a USB charger here. So obviously this is how you could charge your phones or your other devices. Just go ahead and plug in there. Here are your status indicator lights. These blue ones right here. So if you have this open and you set it out in the sun, it's charging properly. You'll have this green light will be lit solid and these blue ones here will be flashing. And that will mean that the device is recharging by sunlight, okay? You wanna charge it before the storm, which you should. It's charging it via the included USB cable here. So what's gonna happen is that these little blue lights here are gonna flash, letting you know that your device is charging. And so when it is fully charged, all 4 of these indicator lights will light up. But charge it for, overnight before a storm is coming, because you wanna have all the backup that you can. I mean, this thing, it's heavy. It charges all of our devices. So all of our cell phones and whatnot, we take turns putting them on and off when the power goes down. And then you just put it outside and let it recharge. Most important thing is that it does what it's supposed to do, which is it charges my devices. And never hike or anything else without this, and I certainly would not be going into a hurricane without it. I have had several other sets that, they work for like a minute and then they die. Well, not these. I've had these for months and months, and I use the mess out of them, and they are fantastic. So it comes in a kit with 2, a black one and a white one. They're about 5 inches tall and about 2.5 inches wide. These things are amazing. I always have one on the charger, and then, when I need it, I have this one plugged into my phone or my AirPods. And then I just picked up like a really long Apple charging cord. So this one has the 4 little lights. So if you press this over here, you just press this little button and you guys can see the 4 lights telling me like, okay, we're good to go, you're ready. And then you have these 3 different ports. You have your USB port, and then I think this one's called a C, and then this is the charging port right here. I don't know what else to say about them except that, they're light, but they feel substantial, and more importantly, they work. I know that when this is in my bag, I don't have to worry about it. It's going to work. It's going to be able to charge my phone. To show you guys these Cobra walkie-talkies. I love these things. We have had these things, as you can see, for a good minute. If you can hear rain in the background, I apologize for that, but Hurricane Ida just made landfall and will be here in just a few hours where I am, which is why I'm pulling all this out. And they're so great. They're long distance, and sometimes when we're in the middle of a hurricane situation, I may be on one side of the house and the kids on another, and this is great for us to be able to talk to one another and keep in touch. And select your channel, and then you can go up and down with the volume. Battery life on this is very, very good. There's this little belt clip back here. Let me just show you one thing, because when I first got these, I could not figure out how to change the battery. There's a little tab right here, and you just put your finger under here and pull up. This will slide up. And once that slides up, then you have access to the battery compartment, and it takes 3 AAA batteries. But if you're looking for a good set, now this is not like you're run to the big box store and grab some semi-questionable walkie-talkies. We've had these things for a very long time. They have been dropped, rained on, you name it, and they still work. And what I really like about them is they really just do have that long distance range. Definitely going to be things down. You don't have access to a chainsaw, or say you found yourself in a situation where you had to go up and then punch your way out of maybe a roof or something like that, you would want to have this. I mean, you could use a hatchet for a million different reasons, but I like this one because I have small children in the house, and as you can see, this has there's a cover on it. So you just take this, you open it up like that, slide it out, try not to take your fingers off. But what I do love about it is it has this rubber handle here, and then it has this so I can hang it. Really, that's about 12 inches long. Trust me, this thing, especially if you take care of it, is gonna last forever. And it's sharp. I mean, this thing is heavy, and it will cut through pretty much whatever you need to cut through. Nice cover, and this is what the handle looks like. I had to share this grill with you guys. Hurricane Ida just made landfall, and we are certainly going to lose power here. This is how I'm going to cook our food till our power comes back up. And y'all will have to forgive this thing. It is dirty because we use it every single year, and even when we're camping. Love this little carry bag that it comes with, and I probably could take better care of this thing. But this is not about that. So easy, my children literally set this up. These pieces, I think it's 5 pieces. Yeah, like that. So you take this piece and you open it like so. You just open it like that. I told y'all this thing was dirty. Go like that. And then you're gonna put this down here, and that's just to catch all your coal and ashes and such. This little guy right there. Then all you have to do is open it and go like this. You have this, and I would also recommend to go with it because I use these two together every single time. This is the Weber charcoal starter. So I'll just start the charcoals in here. Once this is done, I'll pick this up and I'll shake the charcoals in here like that. Put this back, while of course wearing these gloves because I would like to have fingerprints and fingers when I'm done. You find yourself looking for something to start a fire with, even if you're using charcoal. It's wonderfully with charcoal, but let me show you real quick. So it's called these little Fatwood fire sticks. And it comes in this giant bag, and the bag has a Ziploc. So it's resealable, which is great because it's gonna take you some time to go through this. Build a little triangle and go ahead and put your pieces of firewood on top, this up. And if you have charcoal, you can just use like 1 or 2 of these and a little mound of charcoal and Weber. And this is a charcoal starter, so it helps you with starting a fire. It's upside down right now. And so what you do is you can fill this with paper. And what I generally do is I put some of these down here, and then I will stuff this with crumpled up paper, newspaper, whatever you have on hand, okay? I'll put this on top of the grill, like this. Put the charcoal down in here. As you can see, you have these sort of fluted areas right here, and this is where the smoke will come out. Just take one of the long lighters and you light it, while it's like this. And so you can reach in and light it from here. It'll feel like it's not doing anything for a few minutes. All of a sudden you'll see it, so it'll smoke a ton of fire. In a few minutes, bowls will be ready. One more thing I wanted to show you. So if you have a charcoal starter, that is great. But I have found myself in situations where I did not have this with me. So these are so great. Let me show you how you would use it. You would just, put a couple down there. You can put some charcoal in there and light. If you can kind of see where my hand is, hello, from down there. Get hot enough and then cook your food. And we will no doubt be without power. If y'all know what the show Dexter is, that's what this makes me think of. Great little kit for obviously manning a grill. Have them all cleaned up and ready to go for hurricane season. And it has these nice little Velcro restraints here. So it's just obviously just like a giant spatula, but it has the little serrated edge here and here. I don't know what the names of these things are called, and I don't care. I just have them and I use them. So this is, what you would stab something with, so you can move it around or flip it over. Obviously this is a great brush, a knife. These are fantastic for s'mores. You guys can see this. See, they're so great. The kids love doing s'mores with these. And then there's this little disc right here, so whenever you're done with whatever, you just push it off. So these little guys right here, these are for rolling corn, and then num num num. I mean, it's a really high quality. These are not kind of garbage pieces that you might see in other places. These are all really high quality. I must have had this set for, I really don't even know. I'm gonna say probably 6 or 7 years at this point. I love, love, love that you can put it like this, and then everything is just in there, and then you have this little carrying strap right here. So I mean, you can literally take these too if you're tailgating or hiking, or in my situation, you have a hurricane that's getting ready to definitely knock out your power. All right, well, I hope you guys found that helpful, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.